Knowing, it's doing. And doing, it's knowing. Think with me now, please. Many people, all of us, receive a lot of information. Every day, all of us, daily, are targets of a lot of information. Radio, TV, reading of all kinds, advertisements, circle of friends, conversations with friends, studies, books. Anyway, in short, information of the highest variety. However, a lot of it goes in one ear and comes out the other, but another part stays here inside. So with this retention of some information, not all, but some, we create within ourselves the illusion that we know something by simply hearing about it. We know something because we already had information about it. But the truth is, you having information about something is not necessarily knowing about it. You heard of that. Knowing means to incorporate knowledge into your life through practice. For example, why is there a practical test to get a driver's license? You have the theory test with information that involves traffic laws, the rules, all that involves traffic laws that you need to know. But will come a time when you will have to take the practical test. You will have to train behind the wheel. And you will have to show that what you train, you know, in fact. And how will you show that you know? Through the theory test? You know when you show that you drive and you don't overrun anyone, you do what is supposed to be done by a good driver. So there, the inspector, the instructor, will validate whether you can have a license or not. Is that not true? Why is traffic often chaotic in our country? Because many people skip that part. They skipped. They paid a bribe to the instructor to pass the test. They didn't worry about knowing how to drive. They worried about being able to drive. Isn't that interesting? There's a huge difference between the both. For you to know how to drive something, for you to be able to drive is something else. So they were worried about being able to. I need to have the driver's license because having it, I will be able to have a job. If I'm stopped, I will be able to show my driver's license. And that's why we see so many terrible things in traffic. How many people, they die because people are irresponsible, because they think they know how to drive, but they do all this atrocity on the roads. So it is in all other areas where we need to make sure a person knows. When you go into a hospital, a doctor's office, you want to know if that doctor knows. It's not enough just to have the diploma on the wall. The diploma, all of us, we know that to have a medical degree, he has to have gone through the practical, not only the theoretical one. The doctor will have to spend a period of time in the hospital, the A&E, by the operation table. You have to see a lot of blood, a lot of bodies in pieces. You have to see a lot of things. At a certain time, you have not only to see, but to put his hands and do it. Have to sew wounds. You have to do a lot of things, and later, after a few years, not only to have the diploma and be able to have his own office and finally claim, I'm a doctor. And more experienced the doctor is, the more respected he will be. If you're going to have a delicate operation, a very serious one. You want an experienced doctor. You want a doctor who said, I've done 5,000 operations like this. I have these years of experience in this field. You don't want one doctor fresh out of university and say, I'm going to do this surgery on you. You're going to say, doctor, good luck on your career, but I'm going to look for someone else. Isn't that true? You don't surrender yourself like this. You trust that the person knows because they've done it so many times. So understand, to know means to do. You only know it when you do it and when you do it right. So what does this mean for our faith, for our daily life, our daily relationship with God? Well, what there is in this world the most is people with biblical knowledge. What there is the most in this world is people who say they have a religion, who go to church, who have a favorite biblical verse. Someone asks someone else, what is your favorite Bible verse? What a question. How can we choose one verse of the Bible? Anyway, many people, they have favorite biblical verses, they have spiritual books, they go to church, they heard several preachings, sermons. Anyway, today we have the internet Christians who make a great disfavor to themselves, making a spiritual salad in their minds, listening to various voices, listening to various people. And I know that many people listen to me on the internet. If I was in search of followers, I wouldn't be saying that. But I'm not in search of followers. I'm in search of helping you, on you taking care of your soul, of your spiritual life. And my obligation is to tell you that it's not good for your soul for you to be drinking a lot of wines, mixing the wines. Jesus speaks of not mixing wines. And I'm not saying that Pastor A, Church A or Church B is better than Church C. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about you having a defined faith. And then you come here, you listen to me saying something, and then you change the channel and you hear someone else speaking about the same topic, but in a different way. And then you become confused. You see that people have a lot of questions today. There has never been so much information in the world as it today, as we live in the age of information. And there has never been so much doubt, because people keep on listening to many voices, but they don't listen to the Word of God. They don't listen to the Word of God. Then they confuse biblical knowledge with knowing, really knowing. We only know it when we do it. Jesus said, "Happy, blessed are those who hear the word of God and keep it." The wise man, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock, which means you to believe, you to hear the word, to believe in it, and to practice it is what makes your life to be firm, as a firm foundation of a house built on the rock. Nothing overthrows it, overthrows the house. And I've already lived in places where there are hurricanes. I lived in Houston, Texas, and we've been through a hurricane. Not we being through, but the hurricane being through us. And it took almost everything. It took houses, cars. It ripped trees whole with roots, but always after the disaster. TV comes with helicopters recording it, and then you see the vast majority of the houses destroyed. And then you see one house in the midst of nowhere, meaning in the midst of all the other houses, one house that remained firm. That house, for sure, had some stronger structure than the others. Well, this is what Jesus was talking about, that he who hears his words and do them, they will be firm. Why? Because they have been practicing it. Not only knowing it, but practicing it. So, if you do it and you practice the words, then you can say that you know it. If you only have the knowledge and don't do it, then for your own good, don't say you know it. Don't kid yourself. Understand that what you have is information. You perhaps are way out of line. You heard it, but you don't know what happened. But don't convince yourself that just because you absorbed information, but you didn't put that into practice. And in no area of life is this as important as in the spiritual one, the spiritual faith area, that is concerning the Word of God.
Did you like this? Would you like to hear it again? Listen to it as many times as you need until this content becomes part of you. Don't forget to leave your like, comment, and share. See you next time.